What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Work Knife Balance. I have a fun video for you here today. This is a package that was sent in by one of our viewers, Ethan. I already cut the top up here. I didn't actually look in it or anything. About 10 seconds ago, I started this and then realized I didn't black out the date or the addresses on the other side. So when I went to open it, I exposed it on the first video. So I wanted to just redo it here. That way we don't have anybody's addresses or anything on the internet. But before we go any further, just thank you very much to Ethan who sent this in and Swihart Media for us to do this review. This is Ethan's well-loved beater pocket knife that we're gonna do kind of a little bit of a roast on, but we're also gonna clean it up a little bit for him and send it back with one of these sweet stickers that we got going on here. So thank you to Ethan for sending that in to us. And if you haven't, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below or the little logo in the corner. That'll let you know when we make more content. We're going to continue to make content. You can also follow us on Instagram at WorkKnifeBalance939. So I don't think there is anything else in there. So go ahead and get this all unraveled. Ethan, you did a fantastic job wrapping this thing up. I have... Oh, okay. So we got a Kershaw, and this actually isn't too horrible. This isn't in, I thought it was going to be much worse condition. This is a spring-assisted Kershaw, so you can already tell that. This has definitely got some wear on it that is very dull. So I don't have my sharpening stuff here. We were just going to kind of do a little bit of a cleaning and looking it over, but you can definitely see there's some dirt and grime and gruts in there, so we can definitely try and get as much of that out there. I'm not going to go ahead and take it all apart in this video just because I didn't know what we were working with, so I just kind of pulled over just some blade cleaning stuff and some lubrication and everything, so we'll go ahead and do that. But off the top of my head, I can't remember which Kershaw this is, but if you know which one this is, by all means, please comment down below, let us know. This isn't a horrible knife. It's not a horrible knife. I actually really like Kershaws, have a couple Kershaws in my collection as well. This one is gonna be a tip down carry. It is not ambidextrous, so you're only gonna be able to carry it on the right side there, but you still have decent action there. I mean, obviously it's a spring assisted, so it's gonna assist out, and it's not a heavy spring, and that's probably due to a lot of the wear in there and everything that's going on with that. So first off, I just want to say thank you again to Ethan, but let's go ahead and do some quick measurements of this thing, what Ethan's got carrying over there. We are looking at about 8 1/4, no, about 8 inches. 8 inches exact for the knife, tip to tail there. About 3 1/2 on the blade, with just under 3 1/2, we'll say 3.3 on the cutting edge there. You got a decent little sharpening trail there, and it looks like Ethan's tried to sharpen some of it here or sent it to someone to have it sharpened. Hollow grind coming through, good drop point blade profile as it comes through there and everything. So with this spring assisted, you're not really going to see too much of a detent action or anything like that because of it. It is going to be a liner lock. Looks like you've got a steel liner with some G10 or some G10 handles there, scales on the side. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just do a couple things that I always do when I clean my knives. I pick these up from, you can get them at Walmart or Amazon, but I always get these dual layer nitrile gloves. All the stuff that I'm using is safe. You don't actually have to wear gloves. I do because I've got a 7-month-old baby, and I don't want to have to accidentally not wash my hands as super good as I should and have something and have my baby have some weird sort of, I don't know, lubricants and stuff in their mouth because of that. So, and then I use this break-free CLP cleaner right here. So this is really fantastic stuff. I usually just do one little strip like that along the blade, and then you can take your finger and just kind of clean it up. I'll clean up one side, and then as it gets on my fingers like that, you rub it over to the other side. So I usually only put it on one side and then end up cleaning the other side as well. And I just kind of rub it in, rub along the blade and everything, get it all cleaned up there, get it worked in there real nice. If the blade is massively dirty or you've got some residue on there and everything, I use these. These are from a case that I carry. It's just the pluck and pull. I've got a ton of this from all the little cases that I pulled off. I use them as little sponges, and then I'll just kind of wipe down as I go through to clean up all those crazy spots as well. So sometimes there's going to be spots that are a little bit harder to clean than others. And so I'll use that to get in there. But then also there's areas my fingers aren't necessarily going to reach. So using this sponge to kind of get in those grimy areas like that helps. And so I'll use this to clean that up and go through there. And this is going to be technically a lubricant and a cleaner as well, but I will put on my own lubricant afterwards as well. And usually I'll put on some KPL after I've done the cleaning process right there. So it looks like that's actually wear on the blade. That's not any gunk or anything like that. So that's pretty clean as it comes through right there. Yeah. All right. So once you get the blade fairly well cleaned, I just grab one of the cloths, one of the many cloths from any side. This is kind of self-explanatory. I wipe it down from the spine side out. That way I know I'm not rubbing against the sharp edge of the blade there. That way I'm not gonna cut myself or anything. So this is not, like I said, I'm not a professional knife cleaner. I don't know everything. I'm not an expert on knife maintenance. I just know what I've done for my knives that has worked to keep them in good working order, and some other videos that I've seen as well. So at this point, I've got enough of that goo off. I'm gonna take that little glove off there so I don't have to rub it around anymore. What I tend to do is I will get the corner of this, and then if I'm not gonna take the knife completely apart, I will try and push it through. See if we can get through up here. And then now I've got this here, and then I can hold tight and clean against the edge like this. So you'll see all that gunk kind of coming out there like that as well. This is a fast and easy way to kind of clean it up without having to take it apart. So especially for less expensive kind of budget beater knives, I don't go through the same kind of meticulous cleaning that I do with my nicer knives, just because they tend to have not the same hardware on the budget knives, and like a T6 screw for the hardware holding it together tends to strip pretty easily, and I don't want to strip all my tools just for cleaning a $30 knife. So this is an easy way to still kind of get some of that maintenance piece in there and clean things up without having to actually like worry about the hardware piece and all that stuff as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of just clean these liners in a little bit and run that out. And this is something that you could do really with like a Kleenex. I started doing it actually with gun cleaner cloth, and I used a gun cleaner for a 22, and I would run the snake and then just like rub it up and down. But I have since just used the cloth because I realized it's just as easy, and it's one less thing to have to worry about having as well. And then I can just leave all that stuff with my firearms, so I don't have to worry about getting all that out for over here as well. All right, so you can see the inside right there is actually all looking a lot better than it did when we first looked at it already. Just kind of rubbing off all that little side stuff. There was a little bit of that cleaner and lubricant on this rag, and so that kind of helps, just rubbing it through there to clean that off. You can see the rag is fairly dirty too now, so it's got that through there. And then like I said, with it being a spring assisted, we're not going to have to worry about like the detent or anything, but I will put some KPL just in here. Anytime you've got metal on metal or anything like that, it's good to lubricate those parts. So I don't really have a detent to lubricate because it is spring assisted. You'll see there's no ball right there or anything, but I will go ahead and just put this around the pivot area. It just kind of prevents any sort of seizing action or anything like that from happening. And I'm sure someone's going to tell me that's stupid, you don't need to do that. And you know what, you're right, I probably don't need to, but I really don't care about your opinion. This is what I do to clean my stuff to make sure it works well. So you don't have to do this, you don't even have to watch the video. I very much appreciate it, but yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean that up, and then it is a spring assisted, so it's a little bit harder, but I just kind of work this knife together and just work that through. You can just go through the motion of opening and closing the knife a couple times. immediately you can hear that, and it actually snaps a lot better. I don't know if you can hear it or if you can kind of see the difference there. I can feel the difference in how it's snapping out. And it's that easy. It's literally that easy. This is a 10-minute video. We cleaned up the blade a little bit. We put some KPL in there at the pivot point, and then we cleaned out the skeletonized area. And just like that, this knife is back in a much better position. It wasn't in a bad position to start, but it is in a much better position now. So Ethan, big shout out. Thanks for sending this in for us. I would love to do more videos like this. So maybe I'll pull apart some of my knives. I'm still just learning all this stuff out as well. Like I said, I'm a collector, figuring this out day to day with all the fun stuff, but I appreciate the support. We appreciate everything that you're doing for the knife community as well. So thank you, and y'all have a fantastic day. TTFN.